Radnor swimmers. We're out here for, this could be the battle for the Central League Championship between Radnor and Strathaven. I'm here with the new head coach of the Radnor girls swimming. Big win against Conestoga last week. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. It gives us the opportunity to have this meet, so
Right.
Feels good.
How are we lining up? Is it going to be a tight one today? From what I'm hearing from the girls, it's going to be tight.
It is as tight as a swim meet can be.
All right. Well, super. Listen, appreciate you taking the time to see us. Congratulations on that big win last week, and let's go Radnor. Thanks.
Let's go Radnor.
Hey, I'm here with Dave, the head umpire. Is that your official name, sir?
Referee.
All right, so that was an exciting win against Conestoga last week, wasn't it?
Very good meet. Very good meet.
And I know it's a big battle today. I don't know how closely you follow the records. And
I understand it could be a good meet today.
Yes,
right.
so we're looking forward to it. Radnor, I think it's a good pool generally for you guys, nice and open.
It is. Good facility here, yes.
All right, well, anything in particular kind of standing out for you today? Or?
No, I just want to see a nice, good meet, close meet, fast swimming, and with these two teams, I'm sure I'm going to see it.
All right, listen, we appreciate you taking the time, Dave. I know we see you at all the meets, so let's go. I'm going to say let's go Radnor. You can say let's go swim teams. How about that?
There you go. Let's go swimmers. Swim fast.
All right, thank you. So listen, we're getting ready, getting ready for the start of the national anthem. Julie Malarkey is going to sing it, and Emmy Sherritt. It looks like it could be a team effort, so we're looking forward to this exciting national anthem on this exciting meet. We'll be back with the national anthem.
Coaches, Dina Dormer, boys and girls swim coach, Joanne Johnson, the dive coach, and all the family, friends, and supporters of Strath Haven to Radnor High School. We're going to have Julia Malarkey sing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, wide with love. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Near Strathaven meet, the girls' 200-yard medley relay. Swimming for Radnor in lane 2 is Tiffany Chow, Grace Wakayama, Amanda Davis, and Anna Duffy. In lane 4, Sasha Smolyansky, Julia Condren, Julia Cullen, Emily Moyer. And in lane 6, Katie Manuel, Julia Lunger, Julia Hartnett, and Claudia Buckley. For those watching at home, Radnor will be swimming lanes 2, 4, and 6 with lane 1 on the bottom of your screen. For those counting at home, there are 4 different girls named Julia swimming for Radnor in this race alone.
I haven't done anything.
Okay, so for those watching at home, again, both of these teams are coming off of historic victories over Conestoga. Last Friday, Radnor High School beat Conestoga. Conestoga's first loss in the Central League in 15 years, a streak of 140 meets. And then just 3 days ago, Strathaven also beat Conestoga in a very, very close meet. That puts both the Strathaven and Radnor undefeated going into this meet, and presumably for the Central League Championship, if we look at it for here. So in the middle of the pool, we have Julia Cullen swimming the butterfly leg for Radnor with a comfortable lead for first place. For those scoring at home, relays first top 3 score, 8-4-2 in the relays. 8-4-2 in the relays. Handing off the anchor leg here to sophomore Emily Moyer. Looks to have it close at hand, and we have a nice battle for third place here between lane 2 and 5. As into the water in lane 2 goes Anna Duffy.
All right, so it's only 1, 2, 3 score in the relays.
In the relays, only 1, 2, 3. So Radnor's going to get a first place here with Emily Moyer bringing home the victorious medley relay, and Anna Duffy here in lane 2 looks to be hanging on to third place.
All right, that's a nice start. This is a big meet.
Very exciting here, Michael.
All right, we'll be back in a minute with the next race.
Okay, the next event will be the boys 200-yard medley relay. Swimming for Radnor in lane 2, Brian McKeon, Yunsu Park, Steve Chen, and Jack Lunger. In lane 4, Stephen Gianella, Keenan Doyle, Eli Avart, and Clayton Bowes. And in lane 6, Stefan Floater, Ryan Teague, Phil Reagan, and Tom Nye. Again, backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, and freestyle in the medley relay.
Okay, so we have a student helping us. Brianna is her first name. I don't know that I caught her last name. And Brianna, am I pronouncing your name right?
Kenna.
Oh, Kenna. I was thinking Kenneth Branagh
So
for
no.
some reason.
So no, you weren't pronouncing her name correctly. Thank you for the correction.
So what is your last name?
Babcock.
So listen, we want to assure you of one thing. There's no way, you don't have to be nervous, there's no way you can do any worse job of filming than we do.
Wait a second. Babcock, are you related to the McShays? No, because Kathy McShay was a Babcock growing.
Okay. Did not know that. Okay, so who do we have swimming in lane 4
in
for
the water,
Radnor?
Yunsu Park. He's going to hand it off to Eli Avart. You can tell by how low he gets on the block there in lane 4.
Yeah.
Eli looks ready to go. The boys, too, coming off of their dramatic victory over Conestoga last Friday. So they, too, are undefeated going into this meet. Although I don't want to jinx anyone here, I think the boys might think that this meet's a little bit
Not as tight as
the girls' meet is expected to be. Eli with his beautiful underwater swimming will hand it off to Clayton Bowes.
So one thing is nice on the Radnor score, but they keep a running score for the boys and the girls, which makes it a little easier to track. But that's not an official score, is it?
They try to do a good job with it being an official score, but correct,
But
it's
it's
not.
not really an official score.
So we had to go all 2000 technology, and we had Kathy Caulfield texting us
yes.
the scores at Conestoga because they're not able to post it. Radnor with the first place
Radnor's
finish.
got a first and a second there.
First and a third.
First and a third, I meant. Okay, we'll be back with the next race in a minute.
Okay, so we move on to the girls' 200-yard freestyle. Swimming for Radnor in lane 2, Emma Dietz in lane 4, Caroline Osman, and in lane 6, Tiffany Chow. And Michael, I just want to comment here that between the 12 girls in the medley relay and the 3 girls in this race, only one senior.
Wow.
This is a young Radnor team.
So you're not referring to Strath, that's just on the Radnor
No, that's
side.
just on the Radnor side.
Right.
Now, as we look here, Garrett Clark playing with the lineup a little bit. In the middle of the pool for Strathaven is a young swimmer named Frances Ressweber. Great swimmer. She's a state caliber swimmer in both the 200 and the 500. Caroline Osmond hanging right with her.
All right, so just so our viewers remember, everybody scores a point except for the last place finisher, correct?
Yes, so we talked about relay scoring being 8-4-2.
That
Individual
was a nice
scoring,
turn by
the
Radnor.
5 places score 6-4-3-2-1. If you're really a math junkie and an analytics guy, you can win a high school swimming meet without winning in any event.
Just for the record, Chris, I love it when you say that every meet. It's one of my favorite lines of the meet. It just is. I just like that.
And unpredictable. I repeat it every meet.
But it's so important. It's
It
so
avoids
true.
original thought. So what it does, though, what 5 places scoring here is it really makes what's happening right now in lanes 2, 5, and
Right,
6
right.
really interesting.
Yeah,
Because it looks like Frances Ressweber is going to win. Caroline Osman's going to get second. But look at this race right now between 5 and 6
5
and
and
2
6.
and 6.
Yeah, look at that.
These are the kind of things. And the
Oh,
Radnor
look.
girls know it because you can see them cheering on the sideline.
Yeah, look at the Radnor girls. Pan up on the Radnor
Oh, I
girls.
like that
there for a
Radnor
second.
turn.
Oh, yeah.
I like that Radnor turn. But look at lane 1 here. Lane 1 looks like a little water spider there flying across the top of the water. This could be mayhem on the final lap.
Oh,
And here we go.
Here we go. Come on, Radnor. Wow. Come on,
Radnor, second place. Third place and fourth place. Yes. Second, third, and fourth for Renner. That wins the race. That's what I'm talking about.
That is
That actually
big.
wins the race, 9-7.
And we'll come back with it. All right, so swimming for Radnor. In lane 2, we've got, oh boy, I'm getting confused here. In lane 4, we got Tim Caulfield. In lane 2, Rich Patton. And in lane 6, Jay Packer. Let's go Radnor boys. Okay, let's get back to it. It involves the whole team when you get down to these third, fourth, and fifth.
It does, and I know enough about Garrett Clark and this girls' team that he mixed the lineup a little bit.
Right.
I think his plan in that race was probably to try to do what he could to get second, third, and fourth.
Right.
He knew that he would have a ton of difficulty trying to beat Francis Ress-Weber, but what his goal, I'm sure, was 2, 3, and 4, and that's what's great about high school swimming. It makes that lane 5 versus 6 battle, that lane 1 versus 6 battle, so great.
And what a lot of viewers probably don't realize, and it's really taken me a while to appreciate how much of a team sport it really is. While it's all individual times, these dual meets, it's a team effort. It really,
and the girls know. I assure you that the girls over on the sideline cheering for Radnor, they know what Garrett's expectations were, what they think they're going to get. They troll those websites to see best times. But here in the boys, it looks like Rich Patton and Tim Caulfield are holding a little bit of a lead there for first and second.
All right, so we got Jay battling out there in lane 6.
We'll also give a shout out. I'm sure I'll blow the number again, Michael, but Coach Tom Robinson is continuing his march to 300th and continuing his march to 300 victories.
I think we have it mapped out. That'll be, I believe, January 27th at
Springfield Montco? Springfield Delco,
yes.
maybe?
And then we're going to do the...
okay, so a first, a second, and a fourth for the Radnor boys.
And we'll be back with the start of the next event.
Okay, so now we have the girls' 200-yard individual medley. In lane 2, Sasha Smolyansky. In lane 4, Julia Cullen. And in lane 6, Julia Condren. Freshman, sophomore, and junior in this event. One of the strong additions to the Radnor team. We saw earlier in the butterfly leg of the 200 medley relay. Julia Cullen now in the 200 IM.
She's a
order of strokes a little bit different in the individual IM. Michael, it's butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, freestyle.
I've seen that.
Always a fun race to watch. Ask the different girls and their different strokes determine it. We're going to take a good hard look at Sasha Smolyansky here in lane 2. Strong backstroker. Probably try to make up some ground on lane 3 and lane 5 in this backstroke leg. Julia Cullen strong in all 4 strokes.
All right, so who's in lane 4? Is that Julia?
Lane 4, freshman Julia Cullen. Lane 2, sophomore Sasha Smolyansky. Younger sister of Tatiana Smolyansky, a strong swimmer for Radnor the past 4 years, now swimming at GW.
Wow, this is going to be a battle for second place here.
A lot of people like to say that the 200 individual medley is really determined and dictated by the breaststroke leg. Sasha's a good breaststroker, but I wouldn't say that it's her primary stroke. Her strongest stroke is certainly breaststroke. But on the other hand, as we look out there in lane 6, Julia Condren is a breaststroker. So we're going to see if Julia Condren can close the gap here on lane 1 as Sasha tries to keep it close enough for the freestyle leg.
Come on, Sasha. She's definitely in striking distance of third.
Strong breaststrokers across the board here for Strath Haven.
All right, come on, Sasha. All right, Sasha's got some time to make up here.
Julia Condren has a little bit of time to make up as well. I don't know if either one of them is going to be able to do it. It looks like Julia Cullen is, I don't want to say comfortably going to win, but I think she's going to hold on for first.
I don't know. I'm giving Sasha a little shot here.
So, first place for Radnor. Second and third go to Strath Haven. First and fourth, again, scoring at home. If you get first and fourth place, you tie the event. 8 points for each team.
Just going to keep
Next up, event 6, the boys 200-yard IM. Swimming for Strath Haven in lane 1, Alexander Kozor. In lane 3, Tom Brennan. In lane 5, Jacob Booth. Swimming for Radnor in lane 2, Steve Janelle. Lane 4, Steve Kennedy. In lane 6, James Wood. Mr. Sterner.
Is that freshman James? I think they have one freshman on the team. You might not have the year of the swimmer.
I don't have the year of the swimmer on there.
Sheet. And again, we get the plan. So the sheets we read from are the plan.
Yes. Top secret
Occurred
information.
to the coaches, we're not allowed to actually see the Strath Haven lineup, and the coaches do reserve the right to change the lineup during the course of the meet.
Why don't you
Each swimmer,
each
swimmer is allowed to swim 4 events, but only 2 individual. So you can swim 2 individual and 2 relays. You can swim 3 relays and 1 individual, but you cannot swim 3 relays. Excuse me, you cannot swim 3 individuals.
Could you
but you could swim all 3 relays if you want.
Could you swim 4 relays?
There are only 3 relays.
Oh, there's
in the
only
meet,
3
so-
relays, yes. So again, as I was mentioning to the Strath Haven fans as we were walking in, I'm the color commentator who's never swam a lap in my life. So
Quite all right.
yeah.
Quite all right.
But they were looking.
So there's a whole strategy between, picking your individual events. Some meets kids will swim 2 and 2. Some meets they'll swim 3 and 1. And again, as you were saying, where you don't think of it as a team sport, when you factor in the relays and the coaching and the strategy, how the team performs really, again, even though they're individual swims, it is very team focused in terms of crafting the lineup.
All right. So does that score? Yeah, the women are up by.
That's about right. They're
8
up by
points.
8. They
Okay.
tied the. Remember, they picked up a 6-point lead in the opening medley relay. They picked up 2 more in the 200 freestyle. And they tied in the 200 individual medley.
Oh, they actually tied in that.
Yeah, they did. First and fourth will get you 8 points.
Okay. Oh,
So
that's
my,
right.
my
No,
whole
no, that's
my
right.
whole story that you don't need to win the race to win the meet. You do need to get second, third, and fourth.
Right. And no, that's right. I was so focused on everything other than the winner that I forgot we won the race.
Okay, so a comfortable first and second there for Radnor, and a first, second, and fourth for Radnor in the boys 200 individual medley. We're just going to keep rolling right into the next event, the girls 50-yard freestyle. You know what's coming, Michael.
I know what's coming.
The splash and dash. The fastest race in all of the meet.
And the girls over there cheering for Anna Duffy. I tell you, the girls are pumped. They know what's on the line. I should have asked Garrett kind of what's the if he envisioned a turning point in the meet.
Well, you probably saw it a little bit. Now you're looking at one of Strath Haven's best swimmers here in lane 3. Again, this is a state caliber sprinter. We'll probably see her in the 50. We might see her in the 100 free as well. Summer Martin, great swimmer. But swimming for Radnor in lane 2 is Lucy Fulton. Is Anna Duffy. In lane 4 is Emily Moyer, and in lane 6 is Anna Duffy.
It's the turn.
Be huge if Emily Moyer can get up.
Oh, wow. Look at this battle
The
going
kids
on
know
here.
battle's going to be for second place, I think. Emily Moyer's trying to hang
Come
on.
Oh.
Need a touch out of Emily Moyer.
Oh. Did not get it.
First. Second go to Strath Haven. Radnor with third, fourth, and fifth.
That's a big one. We're going to stick right with it on the boys. All right, so swimming for Radnor. In lane 2, we have Clayton Bowes. In lane 4, Brian McKeenan. And in lane 6, senior Keenan Doyle. So I tell you, you can see the girls' tension. I mean, they really are focused. They are.
Know.
All right, so here we go with the boys 50 freestyle. Let's go, Radnor boys. I think Brian McKeenan is a senior. Oh,
Brian McKeenan, I believe, is a senior. This is his second year for Radnor. One of those rare doubles. Plays a little bit of football. Nice sprinter here for Strath Haven in lane 3.
They have some sprinters, don't they? That's a sprinter.
Brian closing some pool, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. But look at this. Second, third, and fourth.
Second, third, and fourth. So
just one quick comment as we move here into the diving. The one challenge that you and I face, unlike a basketball game or a soccer game where the score is self-evident, Radnor may be winning on the girls' side by 4 points, but it's just as important what Garrett thinks should be occurring at this point in the meet. And that's the thing we don't really know up here. We don't know if he's expecting that they would have been ahead at this point, behind, tied. So that's the trick. We know that Strath Haven has awfully good divers, amongst the best in the Central League on the girls' side.
Okay.
And what we'll do for diving is we'll pick up some of the background showing just the Radnor divers.
I tell you, I just got to say something about our camera woman here. I can just see the way she's panning. She's really catching the essence of the meet. I can really see it. She's much better than me. Okay, we'll be back with the start of the diving in a few.
So here we are in the diving. There are 6 rounds of diving, Michael. We're picking it up in the 3rd round. We're going to show the last 4 dives of each of the Radnor divers. So the first Radnor diver here is senior Katie Reichert. If I heard correctly, she's doing a forward double somersault in the tuck position. I believe you do that late at night at the splash party over there at Overbrook. Yes. Front double.
Oh,
nicely done. Nice clean entry. Scores 5, 5, and 5.5. So Radnor's second diver, Annika DeRoos. I missed the call, Michael, so I'll have to announce it as I see the flight.
Okay, here we go.
I'm sensing it's a 1.5, though. It just feels. I've got the feeling that it's a 1.5.
What year is she?
I don't know. We'll check.
Sophomore, I'm being told by our camera woman.
Not only is she good behind the camera, she's a font of facts. Oh, a double. Whoa. A double with a little bit of over rotation, but beautiful height. 4.5, 4.5, and 5 for Annika. A senior Nicole Cohen. Also doing the forward double somersault in the tuck position. The way it works is you take the 3 scores, you add them up, you multiply them by the degree of difficulty. That's your score for the individual dive. You take your 6 scores for the dives, you add them up, and then diving is scored as just a single event. It counts as one event. You can swim and dive in the same meet. It counts as one of your individual events. Double flip by Nicole, beautiful dive. I'm looking to see a couple 5s and a 5.5. 5, 5.5, 5.5.
Who said that?
First of the Radnor boy divers, Hager Neeb. He's going to go in inward dive, pike position.
Yeah, he's a little on the skinny side, isn't he?
It's hard to see when he turns sideways. Should make for a beautiful entry, though, right? And indeed it was. Maybe even a 6.
That's okay.
5.5, 5.5, and 5 for Hager.
Christian's third dive is a 103B, front 1.5 somersaults.
So Christian Rushi, new to Radnor this year. He's not a freshman, but he is new to Radnor High School. Summer diver at Martin's Dam. That's the only reason I know that piece of information. And Christian about to do a forward dive, 1.5 somersaults in the pike position.
Wow.
Beautiful height.
That's a nice addition to the Radnor boys diving team. My goodness.
5.5, 5.5, 6.5.
5.5, 5.5, and 6.5 for Christian. Katie Reichert doing her 4th dive. Katie also a Martin's Dam swimmer in the summer. Nice reverse dive, tuck position. Beautiful entry.
5, 5.5, 5.
5, 5.5, and 5. Annika DeRoos' 4th dive. 301B. This is a reverse dive. This time it's in the pike position. We just saw Katie Reichert do it in the tuck position. The pike position, I think, is a 1/10 or 2/10 of a degree of difficulty point higher. Beautiful dive, beautiful height. We're going to see a big number here, Michael. 6, 6, and 6. Nicole Cohen. All right, Michael. We are on to the flippy twisty dives. The crowd favorite. They should all be flippy twisties. The reason they're higher degree of difficulty is because you're supposed to judge the quality of the flip the same as you judge the quality of the twist. That means you don't want to over twist or under twist, just like you don't want to over flip or under flip. This is a back, I think, 1 flip with 1.5 twists, maybe? Let's see. Back flip, 1.5 twist, nice forward facing entry. Should be 5s.
That doesn't look easy. That does not look easy.
5, 5, and 5.5. So Hager Neeb's 4th dive. Inward somersault tuck position. For scoring purposes, approach, flight, entry. Those are the 3 things you're looking at. So for a back dive, this will be the approach. There's your flight, entry.
Do we have any feel for how the girls are doing, or is it just kind of...
3, 4.5s on that one. We'll keep her on. I don't know how the girls are doing yet. I do know that if we just looked at the scoring of the Conestoga meet, the Strathaven divers did a little bit better against the Conestoga divers than did the Radnor divers. Again, I don't know what Coach Garrett Clark's expectations would be for this, but just based on that, it appeared that the Strathaven divers did score a little bit higher scores than Radnor, because I think they might have all dove at the same time. So we'll keep rolling as we go right into...
How consistent are they from meet to meet as far as...
Well, there's 2 things that change. One... So Christian's going to do a reverse dive in the, I think they said pike position. The trick is Conestoga, because they don't have a pool with a diving board, sometimes does multiple dive meets at once where they dive and other schools are there. Now, those other schools aren't diving against each other. They're just diving against Conestoga that day. So, for instance, in both the Conestoga Radnor meet and the Conestoga Strathaven meet, the swimmers went into the meet knowing what the diving score was, whereas today it's just occurring as we watch. 4, 6, and 6 for Christian on the reverse dive. Just saying.
The question is...
All right, so we have, hold it 1 second. So Katie Reichert into the 5th round of diving. I think she's doing an inward somersault, or was it an inward 1.5? We'll just have to wait and see. Inward 1 somersault, tuck position.
So there's a family of Reichert divers, right? A couple of them divers?
She was the primary diver, but you are right. Her older sister did indeed dive for Radnor. The other older sister and older brother did not dive, to the best of my knowledge.
It's the 5th
Annika
dive.
DeRoos's 5th dive here. Unfortunately, I didn't hear it, so we'll just sit back and enjoy it.
Wow.
Forward dive, 1 flip, full twist. 5.5 across the board, I believe. Nicole Cohen's 5th dive, inward dive, pike position. It is hard to get a sense of how the competition is going. It's pretty obvious that the 6 girl divers are pretty evenly matched from what I can see. Maybe I'd give a shade of an advantage to the Strath Haven divers. Just seems like I've heard a few more higher scores for them, but it does look like it's a closely matched competition. And that's a beautiful dive by Nicole. Here comes the 6.5, Michael.
Ooh,
Six,
nice.
6.5, 7. I'll have a talk with the judge about that 6. Fifth dive, again out of 6 rounds. Reverse dive. 1 somersault, tuck position. I always find this to be the hard one. You have to go off the board forward and then throw it in reverse. Nicely done. Nice clean entry by Hager. 5.5, 5.5, and 4.5.
Christian strip dives in 403C inward 1.5 somersaults in the tuck position in the difficulty to 2. Chris on deck.
Kristen Ruschi's 5th dive, inward 1.5 in the tuck position.
He's a strong diver.
He is a strong diver. I believe he's one of 4 brothers, all of whom dive a little bit or have dove a little bit over the course of the years. Again, I tend to see him more in the summer than on the winter circuit. Beautiful height. Beautiful height. 5, 5.5, and 4.5.
Start the final round. Ladies dive is a 51-24D. Front 1 somersault with 2 twists.
Oh.
Position to your difficulty 2.
All right, this is a flippy, lots of twisty dives. Front flip, 2 twists. Free position. Flip, twist.
Nice.
Well done.
All right, so we're going to
officials are talking.
We're going to stick.
The
with
officials
it.
are talking.
We're going to stick with this.
So with
on
the
whole
officials
round.
talking, they're probably trying to make a decision on either was her hand up. Okay, so they gave her 2s across the board. That says one of 2 things. Either she had a severe deficiency where perhaps she went in with her hand above her head, or they're indicating that they don't believe she completed the second twist.
Right.
I'm going to say it was her left arm was high upon entry over her head.
All right, so we're going to stick with it the whole round here. Camera woman, if you get some interaction over there with Doug and the kids.
So we've mentioned Garrett Clark and Coach Tom a bunch. You mentioned Doug Nowak, coaches both the boys and the girls diving. Probably his 3rd or 4th year, and we don't need to say that these are incredibly valuable points in the diving event at the Conestoga meet. The Radnor girls took a lead, right here. This is just as important as any one of the other individual events. Miss Annika DeRoos gets ready for her
Final
6th
dive.
and final dive. Beautiful inward dive pike position. Big numbers.
Wow.
6, 7, 6.
Okay, so let me just basically they're just adding up the score aggregate of all 6 dives, and
Yes.
number 1 you just add them up and
Yes. The only thing that I can't tell you today is there probably is a required dive in the mix. Right? There probably is a required dive in the mix that all the divers have to do. It's usually not a specific dive as much as it's a position. It could be a reverse, it could be an inward, it could be a back. And then you have to do some version of that dive. I don't know what the required would have been today.
Does the required dive it changes too, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
And when is that decision
A back
made?
double by the Strath Haven girl. That's
When
a good question. I don't know. My guess would be it's made at the beginning of the year that
At the
they know
beginning of
which
the- yeah, that's what I was
which
thinking.
meets, which weeks, whichever the required dive is going to be. So Nicole. So Nicole Cohen's last dive, back dive, straight position. And it's a flip. It's a
She's
back
just
flip.
always been
Yeah, this is a
consistent.
tricky one because to do it correctly in the straight position, you can't break at the waist.
She's always been so consistent. She just really is fun to watch.
Well done. Nicole's a little bit late to the diving world.
To a layman's eyes, that looked sweet.
6, 5.5, 5.5. Nicole also, I think, was a summer diver that we used to run into. And if I'm not mistaken, I think her background was originally gymnastics, and she moved over to diving at one point. So very comfortable with the flipping and twisting. Just in gymnastics, I guess you don't go in head first.
No.
Nice back 1.5 by the Panther diver there.
I may be disagreeing with you. I'm not getting an overriding remembering of higher scores out of the Strathaven divers.
I am going to agree with you that since I said that, I don't feel it as much. But nonetheless, the girls' competition is complete. It will take a while till they compile the scores. The boys now on their final dives. Hager and Eve is off. A double in the tuck position.
5, 4.5, 5.
5, 4.5, 5.
Ethan's final dive is a 51-21 knee front, 1 somersault with 1/2 twist in the free position to your difficulty 1.7. Christian on deck.
Okay, so Christian will be on our final diver, and then we'll take a break and come back with the scores. Do they computerize the totals, or is
No, it's hand. This is old school, Michael. There's somebody, they're reading it off of sheets that have been filled in by hand. Then they're adding it up, and they have their little cheat sheet that says that was 18 points times 1.6 equals. And they do actually use the aggregate total for things like Central League qualifying and district qualifying.
Right.
So it's assumed that the same judges give approximately the same scores. So across the state, these numbers are used for ranking for, as I said, league championships, district championships, and whatnot. So Christian Ruschi's final dive. Forward dive, 1 flip, 1 twist. Nice height, nice entry.
I tell you, he looks like one of the strongest Radnor divers.
6.5, 5, 5.5, and we'll be back for the girls' 100-yard butterfly.
Chris's final dive.
I'm sorry.
It's recording.
Okay, we're up.
Next up, event 11.
Okay, so we pick it up. 2-point Radnor lead, 40-38. Strathaven was able to close it a little bit there in the diving. They took a 4-point lead down to 2 points. Nip and tuck. So going into the girls' 100-yard butterfly, in lane 2 is Laura Packer. In lane 4 is Julia Cullen, and in lane 6 is Grace Wakayama. I apologize. In lane 2 is Julia Cullen. In lane 4 is Laura Packer, and in lane 6 is Grace Wakayama.
This is a big race.
This is a big race, Michael.
This is a big race. Every point counts.
Happen to know from who Radnor's putting into this. I'm sure they're thinking of certain things happening. So in addition to watching the middle of the pool, we certainly want to watch Grace Wakayama to see what happens out there. I think we'll see Julia Cullen and Laura hit the wall pretty evenly matched there, but let's keep a close eye on lane 6 and Grace Wakayama.
Okay, so we got Laura in lane 4. Lane 2 is Julia Condon.
Julia Cullen,
Cullen. Oh,
Radnor's
Cullen,
all-star freshman. I'm not going to say we expect her to win, but we certainly expect her to win. Little hometown announcing. We want to be cheering for Grace Wakayama in lane 6.
Come on, Grace! Come on, Grace! Come on, Paris!
Julia Cullen into the wall, comfortably in the lead. Laura Packer comfortably in second. Grace in a dogfight for 4th place. Lane 6, lane 5. Here we go.
Here we go!
And she's closing fast on lane 3. Fast.
Come on, Grace!
First, second, and 4th.
4th. Nice. That's a big one.
First, second, and 4th. But again, it only is huge if it's different than what the coaches are expecting, and we just don't know what they're expecting.
Right.
I know they don't expect much out of you and me, Michael, but as for the swimmers, that's different.
That's one thing nice about this. Nobody expects anything out of us.
We've set a very low bar.
Everything's a bonus. All right, so here we go. Swimming for Radnor in lane 2 is Brian McKeenan. In lane 4, Eli Avart. And in lane 6, Phil Reagan.
All right, so here we go. Boys 100-yard butterfly.
Let's go, Radnor.
You know, this is one of my favorite things. Eli Avart and his underwater swimming.
Look at that. Wow. All the way to the middle of the pool. You're
He's
right.
allowed to go to the cone if Ken is
there's a
focused
limit
on the middle pool. Yes, you must be up by a certain point. In backstroke
Wow, look
and
at
freestyle, you
how
must be up.
far underwater he is on the turns.
Even on
That
the
is
turns.
really
He is a
something.
beautiful underwater swimmer. So let's
my
look.
God.
He's got a powerful dolphin kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then boom. Very beautiful turn.
Wow.
So Radnor comfortably in first and second here.
Look like they could sweep here. Lane 6 is pulling in on lane 3. I gotta tell you, I am nervous. This is fun.
I am very nervous. This is fun. These are the meets you
This
want.
is good stuff.
So we're going to keep rolling into the girls' 100-yard freestyle. Swimming for Radnor in lane 2 is senior tri-captain Lucy Fulton. In the middle of the pool, lane 4 is sophomore Emily Moyer. And in lane 6, freshman Caroline Osman.
Who's in lane 6? I didn't pick that up.
Caroline Osman. So again, we've got one of Central League's finest sprinters, Summer Martin, here in the middle of the pool.
In lane 3.
In lane 3.
So we're
And then
hoping-
we have, I don't know what the plan would be. I'm just saying, knowing a little bit about the Strath Haven team, she's one of the finest sprinters in the Central League. And actually, I think she sprinted at States a little bit last year. But here we go.
So does Emily have a chance, do we think?
Emily certainly has a chance, but I think the big race here is going to be for second, third, and
Second
fourth.
and third, yeah. Emily's pretty tight there.
And I never give up on fifth. So Emily's hanging really tight. So we go to the lead. Summer Martin stretching it out a little bit. Lucy Fulton here in lane 2 needs to pay attention to lane 5.
What's her name in lane 3? Summer what?
Summer Martin in lane
She
3.
just sounds like a swimmer. Summer
We do,
Martin.
and we've got mom and dad right behind us, but the parents
come
are
on.
up because they
Oh,
know.
is this the parents
This is
behind
the
us?
parents of
Summer's
lane
parents?
3.
Say something good.
Go Summers!
All right.
So here we go, lane
Here we
6.
go. Oh, come on, Radnor. Come on, Radnor.
Emily Moyer hanging on for second.
Wow, second, third.
Second, third, and
And fifth.
4, 3, and 1. That ties the race.
Okay.
Second, third, and fifth ties the race 8-8. I looked at my Cray supercomputer, added it up, and I think that's an 8-8 finish there.
Whew. Lane 2, we've got Clayton Bowes. In lane 4, Tim Coalfield. And in lane 6, Un Soo Park. Radnor boys have a pretty comfortable lead here. What is the magic number again, Chris? Well, let's hold off on the start.
93 is a tie, 94 is a victory.
94 is the victory.
186 points total.
So did the boys win the Central League last year? They did not.
No, the
did
boys
they?
did not. The boys lost to Conestoga. This year the boys are on path or on target, I think, to regain the Central League championships. Today's a very important step, if not the most important step at this point for the girls, as Strath Haven and/or Radnor look to break that 14 or 15-year lock on the Central League title that Conestoga has held.
Boys did win the Central League 2 years ago.
Correct.
In that historic diving final at Radnor.
Yes, post-meet diving final.
One of
Great
the
race. Great race here in lane 2 and 3.
I mean, that had to be one of the most exciting diving finals in Central League history. All right, we got a big race coming up here.
That will be the girls. Okay, so the next event for the girls will be the 500-yard freestyle. Swimming for Radnor in lane 2 is Emma Dietz. In lane 4 is Laura Packer, senior tri-captain. And in lane 6 is sophomore Samantha Lee.
Okay, so how do we...
I've just been corrected. Grace Wakiyama in lane 6, coming back along with Laura Packer quickly after the 100-yard butterfly that they both swam. Again, this is Garrett figuring out where his best ability is to try to get points.
A switcheroo there? That is a switcheroo,
It's just not what I had on my list. But again, they have the right to change this.
So how do we feel about Laura in this event? Is she the one to beat?
No. So Frances Refs Weber is probably the first or second best distance swimmer in the Central League.
Right? Okay.
She also, I believe, competed in both the 200 and the 500 at the state championship last year. If not, she just missed. If I were a betting man in terms of expectations, Laura is in the pool to make sure she gets a second place. But again, you swim them for a reason. So this will be a big race, as I said. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch about the first 100, then we'll cut away and pick it up a little bit later in the race.
All right, so the girls have a 10-point lead with how many events to go? With 5 events, including this event.
Yeah, so they've updated it at 60 to 50, and again, we have 2 relays left. And then we have this and whatever. But I think towards the end, this will be an interesting outcome once we see. So we're going to shut it down, Ken, and we're going to pick it up with about 4 laps to go.
All right, here we are.
So here's Frances Refs Weber touching for the lead, or Frances Refs Weber with a win. Beautiful swim. It looks like Laura Packer is going to get second as expected. Emma Dietz in third. And it looks like Strath Haven is going to take first, fourth, and fifth. So Radnor will surrender 2 points from their lead. Second and third get you 7 points. So it looks like Strath Haven will go 9-7 in this event, closing the gap to 8 points.
All right, so we'll be back with the boys 500 in a moment.
Yeah, we'll just...
All right, here we are with the boys 500, swimming for Radnor. In lane 2, Jay Packer. In lane 4, Rich Patton. And in lane 6, Stefan Floater. Radnor boys have a pretty handy lead here. So let's go Radnor boys.
Let's go Radnor.
All right, so we're here with the 500. This is the 500. We're always looking for ways to fill air. We have one of the legends of Radnor sports broadcasting sitting to my left. Why don't you introduce him, Chris?
So to my left, perhaps the pioneer of Radnor High School swimming broadcasting, maybe the original one to put it on the air, Mark Poulos, father of quasi-assistant coach Katie Poulos down there. I say quasi because I know with her new job this year, she's comes to as many as the meets as she can, but sometimes work gets in the way.
I'm not sure if she gets paid, so that would make you quasi as well.
So it's good to see you, Mark.
Hey, you guys have been doing this for so long. I feel like Wally Pipp. I don't know if you know who Wally Pipp is.
Oh, I'm missing the reference.
He was the guy that sat on the bench for one day, and then Lou Gehrig played 2,130 games after him.
All right, so maybe a little more modern. The dreaded Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady. Sorry, Drew, you got hurt. You're just never going to get to play again.
Exactly the same thing. So my daughter told me this is a pretty important meeting, especially on the girls' side.
This is for the, I don't know who said it, but I've heard it, the whole McGillicuddy. Have you ever heard that term?
Yes.
This is it. The whole shebang. This is it.
So I'm sure everybody else knows that's watching, but bring me up to date. Are the boys in the hunt as well?
So
for
the boys beat Conestoga on Friday.
Yep.
So the boys really should. They are the presumptive winner of the Central League if they run out the string, which they should. The girls, on the other hand, beat Conestoga,
like for the first time since the invention of the
but not only that,
computer.
It's also the last time Conestoga lost. Conestoga had a 15-year streak of Central League dual meets,
which is pretty unbelievable, isn't it?
But Strath Haven beat them on Monday, so they lost 2 straight in the Central League, and they were both about the same
It's margin
point
of victory.
spread. So that's why everyone knew this was going to be a great meet and a close meet. And as I said, at this point, because Radnor has already swum the Haverford girls, their next closest competition, for Radnor, this would put the seal on it. But I am going to throw one wild card. If I understand Tom Robinson correctly,
and he's always correct,
they are thinking of scoring the Central League Championship meet for the first time ever and factoring that results into how they come up with the Central League champion. They would prefer not to have two champions. They don't want to have a dual meet champion and a Central League championship, which is swim in an invitational type format. So they're trying to figure out how they can have the dual meet count, and then the Central League championship will be scored and added to that. And it is actually apparently still in play that it could occur this year, even though it's not been finalized. And this information is relatively new. I got it last Friday.
It's been a million years, but the Central League meet was typically not scored, right? It was more
Correct.
an individual.
It's always been an individual
that was obviously
thing.
put together by Conestoga since they lost, right?
Well, no, it's been in the works for a couple of years. A lot of coaches think that if you're going to call it the league championship, it should be scored as such, and it should matter.
Yep.
And the trick is, how do you make it matter when it takes a slightly different format and it's an invitational? So there were some different proposals flopping around, is what I was told by Tom, and the two, I think they really know what they're going to do. The question is whether or not they do this year kind of just as a trial where it's not official, and starting next year it's official, or if they actually try to bring it in as an official.
Well, I know, like at the college level, that's all they really care about is the big year-end
Absolutely.
championship. Man, they could care.
So here's how it would work. Overly simplified without all the details. If you were to win every meet in the league, every dual meet, you would be guaranteed as a minimum to be called the co-champion.
Okay.
You might only be a co-champion if the points you're given for winning the dual meet don't overcome the deficit maybe that you would have at the championship meet. And of course, if you were to win the championship meet or keep the deficit close enough, then you'd be just the only champion of the league.
I think Tom
Did
likes
that make any
'cause-
sense?
Well, yeah, I think Tom likes it just because there's more math involved, probably.
Well, there's a lot of math involved. I think some of the people like it. It does reward depth. They would score the championship meet down to 16 places, which would matter.
Because it's all about studs.
Right. So, I don't know.
So I have a question.
But the first thing is, if we look behind the pool real quickly, Kenna, can you get a quick behind the pool? We have both teams huddled. Both sets of girls 200 free relays huddled. They know this is a big one. They know this next free relay. A lot of points in play. Something else is in play, too. My guess is going to be that some of the coaches are ending their swimmers' meet program on this race. And you know, Mark and Mike, sometimes you get to that last relay of the meet and your swimmer has swum their maximum allotted races. So that's just how it works.
So I have a question before we get into the pressure cooker of the relays. One completely silly question. I'm looking down at the message board on the pool deck. It says Jay Packer's address. What is that?
So here we go. For those watching at home, and it's too late by the time you see this since we're on
something
tape.
will have already happened.
Tonight's pasta party is at the home of Jay Packer, my nephew. Do not come to my house.
Yeah, I was
Please
gonna
go
say,
to my
you don't live
brother's.
on
Please go to
Patterson,
my
do you?
brother's house. The pasta party, because this weekend is what you would think of as Lidditz, what is now called Wilkes-Barre. And because the kids won't be in school, there'll be an invitational Friday and Saturday of this week. There's a pasta party post-meet tonight.
And you can't have a big meet without the consumption of carbohydrates.
Another reason they need the victory. You need to go into the pasta party with a win.
Let's stay with it. We want to give a plug for it, particularly to Mark. Mark, January 29th is the night we're going to celebrate Tom's 300th victory. So we're hoping if he can make it, it's at the end of the meet. It's after senior night. It's a Thursday night. So if he could swing by, I know Tom would appreciate seeing it. It's going to be here at the Henry Himmons Natatorium. They're going to be apparently unfurling a permanent banner with the 300 wins. There's a lot of alumni coming back.
So speaking of the Henry Himmons Natatorium, Tom took over for Henry. So Henry coached through whatever it was, the 1982 season.
Wow, look at this.
And
They are fired
The pool is named
up.
for him, and now Tom is 30 straight years. 500 free, finishing up.
Why don't you do a pan around the places on pins and needles? Let's go, Radnor! Come on, girls! Let's go, Radnor! Hey, come on! Come on, let's go, Radnor! Woo! Come on! I'm cheering the fans into a frenzy! We're whipping them up! This is it.
Well, I'm going to go.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark. Great
So
seeing you.
here we go. Swimming for Radnor and the girls 200 free relay. Each girl 50 yards. In lane 2, Andy Oates, Grace Wakayama, Caroline Osman, and Anna Duffy. In lane 4, Moyer, Fulton, Packer, and Cullen. And in lane 6, Bellaval, Buckley, Malarkey, and He Park. I will tell you there's been a couple of minor changes to what I just announced. Big race. Let's go, Radnor.
All right, so only 1, 2, and 3 score here.
Girls with an 8-point lead going into this. After this relay, there will be 2 individuals and 1 relay left. Let's go, Radnor.
Okay, so who's swimming in lane 4 for
Well,
Radnor?
in lane 2 is Laura Packer, and in lane 4, I'm not exactly sure
Boy,
who that is.
Laura's going to be tired. Oh,
But
man.
I will say that I believe the faster relay is the lane 4 relay.
Okay.
I don't know what Coach Clark has up his sleeve or how he's expecting this to work out, but here we go. Nice swim by Laura. But immediately, the Haven swimmer has closed that
Is
gap.
that Summer?
Kate Lyons in the water for Strath Haven. Lucy Fulton going in next.
Oh, lane 2's closing the gap here. All right, so who's swimming for Radnor in lane 2? do you
Again,
know?
Lucy Fulton jumped in lane 4. Again, I don't know exactly how Garrett stacked or did not stack these relays, but it looks like they've got their hands full here at Radnor. Maybe they're swimming for 2nd and 3rd. I'm not sure.
What's the swing if you get a 2-3?
You're going to lose 2 points if it goes 2-3.
Okay, so it looks like it's going to be a 2-3.
It's going to be a 2-3 for Radnor, and again, the trick there is what was Garrett's expectation?
I would think that probably is what he was expecting.
2-3 can be great. 2-3 can be, a problem. Garrett is clapping. That tells me maybe that's a good thing. So 2-3, the girls' 8-point lead will be cut down to 6 points with 2 individuals and 1 relay to go.
Okay, here we are with the boys 200 relay. Swimming for Radnor in lane 2. In lane 2 is Ryan Tegg, Jack Lunger, James Eldery, and Unsu Park. In lane 4, Eli Avart, Rich Patton, Brian McKeenan, and Tim Colefield. In lane 6, Phil Reagan, Julian Evans, Mike Horseman, and Thomas Nye.
We gave some props to Mark Poulos for being the father, if you will, of Radnor Broadcasting. I'd be remiss if we didn't also mention his longtime partner, Ed Kaisarian.
Yes.
The two of them behind the microphone for years. Legendary, and I worked with them, I think, for a year. And then, of course, we upgraded the on-air talent, Michael, with your arrival some years ago. Here we go. So we look at the boys' score. The boys are comfortably ahead by 40 points, so really the focus at this point is on the girls. But we are at the time of the year where these swimmers start to swim a little bit for central times, more importantly district times, either automatic or consideration times. And this weekend the boys and girls will travel up the Northeast Extension to Wilkes-Barre for an invitational meet called the High School All-American Meet in Wilkes-Barre. One of the kids' favorite meets of the year. It's swum like the state championships with the same event schedule on Friday and Saturday as the 2-day schedule at states. It's also swum with preliminaries and finals, morning prelims, finals in the evening. The kids love it. It's one of their last best chances to get in some really fast qualifying times as they strive for district times and central times. Not that they can't do it in a dual meet, but in the friendly confines of an invitational and a prelim final configuration, the kids tend to do some really good times at Wilkes-Barre. We're looking forward to heading up there tomorrow.
And this will be the first time in a number of years I'm not going.
We will not ask why you're not going to be there.
You're right. Don't ask. You wouldn't want to know. It's a terrible burden, but I have to share it with our listeners out there. I'm going to be in the Dominican Republic for 7 straight days doing nothing.
Let me be the first to say I think there's a fair possibility that the weather and natural beauty of Wilkes-Barre, PA could outdo the Dominican Republic tomorrow and Saturday. I'm not suggesting you should change your mind, Michael, but
Well, we know that the atmosphere and the fun of Wilkes-Barre certainly will rival the Dominican Republic.
we will miss you up there, but I don't think it will curtail our fun up there. All right, so here we go. Girls, 100-yard backstroke. Swimming for Radnor in lane 2, Tiffany Chow. In lane 4, Sasha Smolyansky. And in lane 6, Katie Banwell.
Okay, does Sasha win?
Radnor goes into this race with a 6-point lead. Again, we don't really know what the coach has been expecting.
Does Sasha win this event?
I'm just going to say, from what I saw in the medley relay, she's going to have her hands full.
Yeah,
she's a beautiful backstroker, but from what I saw in the medley relay, she is going to have her hands full. Ask me in about 1 minute, 0.6 seconds, my expected winning time in this race. Again, first is so critical, but just as critical is that battle for third and that battle for fourth or fifth, whatever the case may be. So I like Sasha's start.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm just as intrigued right now in this battle for third. Tiffany Chow in lane 2. Hands full with the swimmer in both lane 5 and lane 1. Also trying to get Katie Banwell. Sasha Smolyansky by no means has this race won.
Not yet.
Sasha needs a strong finish here.
Oh, it's going to be close. Wow, the fans are going crazy. Oh, come on, Sasha. Come on. I think she's got it.
So Sasha Smolyansky's going to just touch lane 2, lane 5. Here we
who's
go.
Gonna get 3?
It's going to be close. Fourth and sixth. First, fourth, and sixth. That's a tie.
That's a tie.
That's a tie.
push.
That's an 8-8 tie, I believe.
Skins.
Place is 2 points. That's 8. And they just missed that 5th place spot, so it's 8-8 by my math. 8-8. 8-8. That's a split. I'm losing my voice, Michael.
I'm losing my voice, too.
Is this you behind or is this me?
That's me. Oh, no, that's you. Mine's at my feet. Okay, kick us. Okay, we're here with the boys. 100 backstroke swimming in lane 2, Stephen Gianella. In lane 4, Eli Avart. And in lane 6, Keenan Doyle.
I'm just saying they're going to get first in the relay. So, still got to swim. That'd be my guess. That'd be my guess. But I don't know.
So the crest is 8-8. You get 89. 6 to win.
Right. 94 to win.
6 points. I mean.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. All right, so here we go. Did you announce the boys' 100 breaststrokers? Or excuse me, 100 backstrokers?
I'm just texting the score out to a few. The girls are up by 6 with 2 events to go, correct?
Yes, so it's at this point where you really start to look at the magic number of 94. 186 points available. 93 gets you a tie. Anything greater than 93 gets you the win.
All right, so Radnor gets a first, second, and fourth. All right, so this is the turning point of the meet right here, this event, right? The girls?
I'm going to take you back to one of your fondest memories of all of Radnor broadcasting.
Yes.
Radnor boys versus Haverford 4 years ago. I don't want to say it was looking grim, but the backs were against the wall when the boys went 1, 2, 3 in the 100 breast, setting the stage for
The ultimate.
the comeback. But let's focus on this for just 1 second. Swimming for Radnor in lane 2, Grace Wakayama. In lane 4, Julia Condren. And in lane 6, May Yakel. Again, a freshman, a sophomore, and a junior. As I look at Strathaven and I look at Radnor, I see two very young teams. This meet right here could be setting up a great rivalry for years to come.
So who do you know on the Strathaven side, on the girls, do you know?
In the breaststroke, I don't know their breaststrokers very well. My sense is that Radnor likes their position to increase their lead going into this event, but I'm not positive.
Why don't you pan over and get the just look at the tension in the air.
I will say that Garrett is not the most demonstrative of guys, but I did see some claps after the backstroke, which might be indicating that he was happy with something. Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, so Strathaven clearly has a very good breaststroker.
All right, who's our backstroker in 4? Condren, right?
The Radnor girls have a 6-point lead going into this race. I'm already looking at this race between May Yakel and lane 6. And the other thing I'm looking at is Grace Wakayama down here in lane 2, who has already swum 100 butterfly and the 500 backstroke since the diving.
Wow.
And here we go.
Here we go. I would assume we got to get that third, right?
They need the second and third, but they also need the 5th.
They need the 5th.
Or they lose the race.
All right. All right, it looks
like this is going, but this is the one that matters.
the one to watch
May
here. Watch
Yakel
over
in
here.
lane 6. Let's get a shot of May Yakel. Second,
Oh,
third.
it's close. It's close.
This is a big finish for May. You can see the swimmers at the end of the
Yes,
pool.
look at them going crazy. Woo!
That's another tie, Michael.
Oh,
that's
that's a
another
tie.
8-8 tie. First, second, third, and 5th is an 8-8 tie. The girls will take a 6-point lead into the finals. They will need a second and third to win in the free relay. Wow. Second only will tie the meet. They will need to either win the relay or get second and third.
Woo-wee. Dang. This is good. This is good stuff.
If I had
I
hair,
better announce the boys.
if I had hair, it would be
Swimming
gone.
for
Fortunately,
Radnor.
I
in
have
lane
no
2
hair.
is James Aldieri. In lane 4, Stephen Chen. And in lane 6, Ryan Tagg. Okay, so let's set the table again for the girls. They need second and third.
Okay, the girls are going to go into the final race with a 6-point lead.
Right.
The scoring is 8-4-2. The girls have 89 points. They need 5 points to win. They can either win the race, which would put them over the threshold, or they can get second and third, which would give them 6 points. If they were to get second, if we were to get second only, we would have the dreaded
Radnor
tie.
boys.
And that whole discussion of whether or not they're going to score the Central League Championship and make it count would come into play. All right, Garrett Clark has them gathered behind the block. I'm sure he's telling them what the situation is. I apologize for not knowing her last name. I see Coach Dino working with her swimmers, trying to tell them what the situation is. So here we go with final lap of the boys' 100-yard breaststroke as we take a quick look at this. Looks like Unsu is comfortably in the lead. Looks like Strathaven is going to go with the old second, third, and fourth routine here. The boys with those points have crossed the threshold. They've beaten Strathaven today.
Why don't we just get a view back here of the coach on lane 4? Woo! So what are you seeing in lane 4? Has he swapped it around? And has he split the relays?
Well, did he split it? I'm looking.
Burns, Jawanski, Martin, lane 5, Cindy, Ross, Taylor, McGillen. Turning for Radnor, lane 2.
Why don't you get the coaches huddled over here?
Lane 4, Fulton, Austin, Smolansky, Packer.
Okay, so as best I can determine from watching, it looks like both Strath Haven and Radnor have put their best swimmers in the middle of the pool. Again, second place is a tie. Excuse me, first place is a win. First and third is a win. Second and second alone is a tie. Second and third is a win. Let's go, Radnor.
Wow. Woo. All right, so who's in lane 4?
Lucy Fulton is leading off for Radnor. I don't know the Strath Haven swimmers well enough to know. My guess is there's a possibility that the Strath Haven coach split their swimmers. I'm also noticing a little outside heat here in lane 5.
Yeah, that's somebody's swimming fast in lane 5.
Okay, so here in the middle of the pool, Strath Haven off to a very fast start in lane 5. Radnor right now, not looking good, Michael. They need better than this.
Oh, boy, it's coming down to the final event. Boy, they stacked up that lane 5, didn't they? And Chris,
okay, they're going to try to close it a little bit here.
Chris, as you were saying, the girls are not going to be a good position if it's coming down to the final relay.
Both of these relays score. Radnor's got to do a lot of work here in lane 4.
Oh, well, we got a little bit going here. We're closing the gap here on second and third. I'm sorry, do we win?
I'm not smart enough to know who Strath Haven has left. If they have their horses in lane 3, Radnor is in trouble. If they have their horses in lane 5, we've got a very interesting situation going. Okay, so what I'm going to tell you is Sasha Smoliansky is really doing some damage here. Two things can happen here, Michael. One, Radnor could win the race outright for the victory.
With a second and a third.
They could hang on for second place. This is very interesting what's about to occur here.
Whoa!
At this point, I am obliged to tell you, my daughter is stepping up on the block.
Oh my God! Come on, Laura! Oh my! And is she swimming against that Summer?
Yeah, but I don't know which lane Summer's in. Here we go!
Oh, here we go!
Here we go!
Oh boy!
It is for all the marbles in lane 4 and 5.
Going crazy!
We also have Summer more to worry about.
We're leading for the first time in the race! Oh my! Oh! Unbelievable!
If I could talk, I would, but I can't. Laura Packer, 50 yards from bringing home the victory.
Come on, Laura!
Here we go, baby!
I'm gonna hug you if she wins, I'm telling you right now!
Remember,
oh my
I
God!
wins the meet.
Here we go!
25 yards for victory. Here it is. I'm going to call my wife.
Yes!
Wow.
Get
What
the
a finish.
Unbelievable! Unbelievable!
What a finish.
Oh, my God!
Stay in the pool.
Stay, get him back here. Oh, my God. That
Stay
is
in
Chris.
the pool. Wow.
Chris, that had to be one of the moments of your life.
That's a big
A
one.
moment of your daughter's
That's
life.
a big one.
Moment of your other daughter's life. Woo! Oh, my God.
All right,
Wow.
we've got to finish it up here. I did not actually expect that outcome.
Whoa!
Radnor winning, but what a back end to that
What
relay
a
by Sasha
finish.
Smolianski
Oh.
and Laura Packer.
I mean, we
Claps
thought
all
it was
around.
all over.
I thought they might be swimming for second place and the tie.
Oh, look at that. Oh, my God.
And I guess I have to say right now, I was a little bit of a homer there calling that last meet.
They won. Could you hear it? We won. Laura Packer won the relay. Unbelievable, Radnor fans. So reminiscent.
They split the relays. What? We split the races, yeah.
When does it come down to the last event of the meet? Unbelievable.
They could have, well, actually, if Summer swam the anchor leg, they went in the same.
Scope in over on the girls here. Just keep. Don't mean to be disrespectful to the boys, but we're going to stick with the girls here.
Well, that was something.
Oh man, so reminiscent of 3 years ago against Haverford,
So
2 years ago against Conestoga.
So again,
the last relay, the last leg. Woohoo!
From a strategy standpoint, I think what Strathaven chose to do was, I think what they said is, if we split our two relays, we can give ourselves a chance at winning the meet.
Right.
If they had just gone guns on guns, I think we might have had a tie. But they wanted to win. They wanted to win. And again, we mentioned earlier in the meet that you don't think about this as being a team sport. You don't think about this as being strategy. It's those fifths, those sixths. It's that third place in the relay.
Just so you know, I do have, my wife is listening in on the cell phone. Can you hear us, Jennifer? She's not there anymore. Oh, well.
So it was something else. We saw the reaction.
Was something else. God, what a way to end the seniors' careers, Central League champions. Wow.
Well, they'll be the dual meet champions. We talked about the scored meet. Now, as we always like to say, there's still some unfinished business. There are 4 or 5 dual meets, but the 3 big ones, Haverford, Conestoga, and Strathaven are behind them. Here's what I like about it, Michael.
And look at the coaches over there hugging.
We've got this for years to come. This is a great young Strathaven team.
We really do.
Radnor's a relatively young team. They graduate Laura and Lucy Fulton, but years to come.
You know, for these kids.
By the way, we should probably mention there are boys swimming in the water. We've now mentioned there's boys swimming in the water.
Yeah, well, they're up by 50 points. Okay, so I was just going to say, you know, these kids, they battle for years, and it's always, you know, they're working against their time. But man, for it to come down to the final event like that, what
Michael, dare I say, hidden camera at 30 Farriston for the post Strathaven pasta party to get ready for Wilkes-Barre.
That may not be a bad idea.
Fortunately, I need to be on the paddle court at Philadelphia Country Club at 7.
And actually, I need to start packing for the Dominican Republic. So we'll just let
I figured your goggles, your Speedo, your snorkels, your flippers.
Forget it. I won't say what I was going to say.
We have young, impressionable Kenna behind the camera. We need to be careful what we say. So we're going to do a quick interview with our multi-talented camera person. Was this the first swim meet you've come to?
No, I used to swim, actually.
Oh, did you swim for Radnor, or did you swim previous?
Yes, Radnor Aquatic
Oh,
Club.
Radnor Aquatic Club. Very nice. Is this your first high school meet?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, Kenny, you picked a great one.
All right, so
this
is what
one.
I think we're going to do. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to get down on deck.
Well, I'll tell you what. We can finish up here with the boys. The boys have just about 45 seconds to go, and this race will be over.
Yeah, well,
the Radnor.
We'll get the cheer, and then maybe we can just get. Forget the parents; they're not important. This is all about
we don't
the
need
kids,
the
right?
parents. That's right.
The most important parent is sitting to my left, and my God, he's got to be beaming inside and out. I'm beaming for him. Jesus goodness.
I'm going to give a huge shout out to Garrett Clark. There was a whole lot of strategery there and stuff I haven't seen in terms of how he loaded the meat, how he did whatever. And I want to give another huge shout out to Sasha Smolyansky because what a beautiful third leg.
How far behind was she when she went in the pool? It was
a little bit.
It was almost a full
body
length
length.
of the pool.
Certainly body length. So the boys finish up here. We'll wrap it up, and I think we'll see everyone back on the deck.
Yeah, I was thinking. You think we should? Well, first of all, let's get the girls'
All right, we'll
cheer.
get the cheers. It'll take a couple minutes till they settle it up.
Maybe we'll. Yeah. We have another battery. You think we should change this battery?
If you.
All right, we are back. We are back live. We're going to try and get the Radnor cheer here. I tell you, that was.
I'm back with you, Michael. Sorry, I had to text my twin sister in New Hampshire since we're not live and it wasn't being live streamed on the internet. Aunt Mo Delora, former Radnor High School swimmer, couldn't get the live result, so she needed it from me. Let her know. Look at the smiles over there as Kenna films it. Look at Garrett giving him the speech. I just overheard the Strath Haven coach here giving a really nice chat to her girls. And as we look down here right below me, we see the Radnor Aquatic Club swimmers coming in, the next generation of high school swimmers.
It's exciting for them to see this.
Very exciting for them to see it. Still haven't heard the Radnor girls cheer. Perhaps they're waiting for the score to be announced. I don't think so. Garrett's giving some last-minute talks. You know, Michael, they always thank the other team and the officials. Just once. Would it kill them to thank the announcers?
Okay, so we're going to sign off here. We may go down and get a little. Why don't you stay down there, Chris?
All right.
If we can. Oh, here we go. They're still cheering. Let's get that.
They'll get the team. Here comes the team handshake. If Kenna wants to just get that as they go through the line. A lot of these kids will see each other at centrals. A lot of these kids will see each other at districts. And I suspect we're going to relive some of these races at districts and perhaps even states for a couple of these kids.
So Strath Haven does not go to Wilkes-Barre, right?
Strath Haven does not go to Wilkes-Barre. Nice cheer there from the Strath Haven girls. We'll watch as they shake it off. If we just get some of those kids in the line, just beaming smiles on the girls' team. Whew. I'm exhausted, Michael. And I didn't swim.
I'm not.
I didn't
am
swim
excited.
a single lap.
Wow, that was fun.
Very fun. You've seen it with your own son years ago at Haverford. I saw it today. And again, you know, kudos to all the girls. You just hope that they understand that, you know, those last tenths of a second hopefully came out of the pool from all that hard work over Christmas, and they've been putting in since November 15th when this all started. So just a great set them up for the rest of the season.
All right, listen, we're going to do our sign-off up here. We may get down to the pool, but if you can, Kenna, can you get over here? We're going to just get a shot of me and Chris. Chris, this is going to be a first. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I said it during the race. I said if you win, I'm going to give you a hug.
Oh, there it is, the hug. The official hug. The first time we've seen the girls beat Haverford-Conestoga and Strath Haven in the same year since we've been doing this. Great path towards winning the Central League Championship, and as we look forward to the rest of the meets. Also, let's not forget a great victory for Tom on his march to 300.
Oh, yes.
Not quite as close as the girls, but a good step on his way to 300. All right, so give us the snappy close, Michael.
Well, we'll just finish one more thought. Think how exciting it is. It's exciting for all the parents who have worked years and, not worked, but all the parents, the kids, the coaches. I mean, they just work so hard. And to win the Central League for the first time since the year 2000 and to be co-Central League champions, I guess since 1990. Would it go back that
Yeah, it's
far?
been a while when both the boys and the girls were that successful. I think you're right.
So it's just
We'll
real.
have that factoid at the next meet.
We will. So we're going to sign off. So Radnor sports fan, good night and good sports. Congratulations, everybody.
Congratulations, girls.
Wow. Unbelievable. Garrett, we're starting off with you. What are your thoughts? Oh, my God.
I have no thoughts. I did not see that coming. I am totally surprised and very, very, very happy. Seeing the girls being so emotional is beautiful.
Wow. Reminiscent of Haverford, Conestoga. What do you think, Tom?
That was awesome. Sasha Smolyansky was the one that really gave the spark to what I could tell. Winning the backstroke was really the key to that meet for them.
And Nicole coming in second and diving.
And well, that's just a tribute to the thirds and the fourths and the diving. And what do you think, Doug?
I think when it comes to a meet that every point counts, we're glad we can contribute. And going into it, I was hoping for a third, and we squeaked in a second. So we'll take every point we can get.
It was beautiful. Thank you.
Guys, just congratulations. So exciting for the kids, for the coaches, for the parents, and all of Radnor. Congratulations. That was really great stuff.
Thank you.
All right.
So here we are with the girls senior co-captains, Caitlin Dow, Lucy Fulton in the middle, and to my immediate right, Laura Packer, also 2/4 of the final relay. We'll start with you, Caitlin. Perhaps the first time going undefeated through the Central League, the first time ever beating Haverford, Conestoga, and Strath in a long, long time. Tell us what your highlight of the meet was.
The highlight was definitely watching Laura swim. I knew she was going to get after it, and we were all cheering. It was so fun to watch her swim, and she got it, and we're just so happy. And she's a big part of this team, and we all love her, and we all did it together. Every single race counted.
Excellent. So, Lucy, you happened to be in the last relay. A little bit nervous there after you climbed out of the pool with the opening leg?
Definitely, and I couldn't feel my legs, so that was good. This feeling was surreal. My most exciting part was watching Garrett cry.
Very nice. So there was some Garrett crying.
A few
All right.
tears.
So Laura
Bossy.
Packer, the third of the three captains, for those paying any attention at home, my daughter. You want to tell us a little bit about that last relay, but maybe importantly, just the big picture of the meet in a couple of words.
The best part of the entire meet was probably watching the whole team come together just to cheer. There's some meets where we're cheering, but it doesn't really mean anything. But this meet, everyone knew every race counted, and it was just so awesome to see us all come together as one. And it really got us to the end there.
So all we have to say at this point is enjoy the pasta party at Jay Packer's house.
Not my house.
Look forward to great swimming at Wilkes-Barre and the rest of the season, girls, and congratulations.
Seniors, savor this moment forever. Championships don't happen often.
Mr. Cox, I was feeling a Michael Cox moment there at the end of that relay.
There you go.
Congratulations.
We quoted it.
We're
Thanks.
signing off. This is it. We'll see you at the next meet. Oh, we'll see you at senior night.
Right.